Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Where do meteor showers come from? Meteorites?
Somebody's gonna have to translate that for me. Meteor showers? Okay. Meteor showers, I'll go with what I said 5 years ago when Jonathan from Jersey said that, it's just somebody like throwing rocks into an aquarium. Do I think they're real? Yeah, sure. Do I think it's part of the system? Yeah, sure. That's all I really got. I mean, it's just part of the grand system. I treat it almost no differently than the sun, moon, stars, and planets. Although it seems to be a little more mechanical. Find me a meteor strikes. Find me, there's 6 billion smartphones in the world. Find me a video of a meteor actually hitting something. I don't care if it's water or it's a sand bed or it's any. Find me a meteor hitting something. Somebody should have filmed this by now. And don't show me something going over the hill and a little flash. I want to actually see the damn thing.
There was a meteor in Kansas City. It just happened.
Oh, did it just happen? Yeah. Did anyone film it?
Yeah.
Did they? No. One question per guy here. Give him a card. Send him away.
Thank you.
I was working on my PhD at Texas Tech. I live in Lubbock, Texas. Working on my PhD when the time came for my writing my thesis. All of a sudden, I come across a YouTube video of Eric DeBay defending, the flat Earth model, and I thought it was a joke, like most of you. The first time you saw something about this on YouTube or whatever venue, you possibly thought it was a joke. I thought it was a joke, and I looked into it because of that. I wanted to get a kick out of it. And then Eric DeBay happens to be very eloquent and very smart individual. He's a good presenter, and so I found him very interesting, and I found that he could back up his points. So I started looking into it, and all of a sudden, eventually my dissertation writing turned into flat Earth research. And I had to follow through, and I had to finish my PhD, which I did back about a year ago. But really, I started looking into flat Earth and started talking about it first with friends, and eventually. But all this info, all my research was being done with the speakers that we have around us right now.
The article that I actually pulled this from that was by My Science Academy says, how does the sun look in on other planets? And it just says straight up, well, by the time you get to Pluto, it's just another star, right? So, and that isn't even a light day away, guys. That's crazy. I mean.
Can anyone read my tag back there? No, I mean the little letters. Can you read that? Shame on you, because you can actually see constellations trillions of light years, not miles, light years. If you can do that, you should be able to read this. But you can't, okay? It's downright foolishness. All right, so next.
The idea of a light year is complete and total mind control. Any Globers here? Anybody? Don't be afraid. It's okay. We won't laugh at you.
No, I think Nathan got rid of the one that was from yesterday.
It's tough to find a Glober, but this is the year that we're.
Oh, is Faulkner here? There we go.
There he is, Faulkner.
There we go.
Beautiful. A hopeless Glober. Will you read that, please?
They tell us now that Polaris is about 323 light years away, but its brightness is about 4,000 times brighter than our sun. And they do this, they just make this stuff up so that they can make the math work as we come here. Because remember, they have no way to measure this. It's all a mathematical construct to them. There's nobody that has ever been there that has actually measured the size of Polaris, and nobody has ever been there to measure the brightness of Polaris. But, they will have you believe that somehow, without knowing either one of those things, that they can tell you everything about it, which is preposterous. They simply cannot. All right. So just some things to think about, about when you look up at the stars in the sky and what they tell us, how far they actually are. I mean, the notion is ridiculous, frankly.
The luminaries were not even created until the fourth day. And then they were placed, as it says in Psalms 19, the sun was placed in the tabernacle of the firmament, and it is in the tabernacle that it holds course. And so we see that without a doubt that the firmament is a very much larger stature than any of the luminaries, including the sun. And they tell us that the sun is 93 million miles away, and that across its diameter, you can put 108 Earths side by side by side, and that's how small the Earth is. And this is absolutely contrary to what Scripture reveals.
The entire space program, in my opinion, is simply entertainment for the animals on the animal farm. Fortunately, that's us. But it's just entertainment for us. And how do we know? Because they hide these constant symbols and signals in there. Number one thing, I cannot believe that the NASA Medal of Space Honor, what is it called? Congressional Space Medal of Honor, is clearly a satanic star. Clearly. It's not even a question. It's just clearly that. Again, are they doing these things on purpose? I just, the last thing I would ever do if I'm a space or anything, let's put a satanic star on our medal. But you can see all the Illuminati symbolism, the pyramid with the removed capstone. It's just clear, constant. It's devils and dragons, and we see the snake tongue. It's just constant. If you can't see it, I don't know what you're thinking. With like the James Webb Space Telescope that was supposed to be launched, 4, 5, 6 years ago. Current cost, $11 billion. One thing I looked up recently is I said, okay, $11 billion for this James Webb Telescope. How many cameras will it have on it? Take a guess. How many cameras? 0. 0 cameras. It will have an imaging system to take pictures of the deep sky, but not a camera to see if it deploys, not a camera to see the Earth. If you're putting something up in space, why not have a camera on it? Think of how cheap cameras are. We've seen everybody running around with their cameras and their GoPros. They're so cheap. They even have cameras now, if you've seen, or phones, that will take pictures of the stars. How do we not have pictures of the stars from the ISS? It's as if NASA gets $56 a day. And even at that much, I'd expect a little bit more.
This is what we found. And mainly we used Photoscape, that's just very simply a photo editor, just like Paint, and it's basically a free version of Photoshop. Doesn't obviously have all of those capabilities, but it's free. And obviously this set of images into the software, and that's what I found. There's that darn box again. It's always tilted too. They don't like the Earth straight up and down. It's got to have a little attitude or something. I don't know. It's always tilted. It is. It looks a lot cooler that way. So this was the same event. This was a little bit higher quality image. When you do the same analysis, you see the same thing. No surprise there. Then we had this really high definition one that they included on the website. It was a TIFF file, and I think it was many, many megabytes. But when we performed that image that gamma brightness is what we were using in Photoscape to do this, we turned the levels way up. This is what we saw. I'll give you a second to study that thing. Looks like they attempted to remove the box using like a healing tool brush or something like that in Photoscape. Yeah, it looks like they got halfway done with the job. The guy, heading off to lunch, forgot to come back and finish it or something. I don't know, but that's what we got.
This is the most expensive engineering project and the most incredible accomplishment that mankind has ever achieved, and there is not one single photograph or video of this station being constructed. Not one. Now, that's crazy, all right? That, first of all, should really make people take notice. And of course, the ballers will come back and they'll say, oh, no, we've got these. And they'll literally show you animations of them putting these modules together, in high speed. And it's like, yeah, there it is. There's our documentation. It's like, all right, whatever, if you want to believe that.
And Carlos was working so hard that I felt it was time to take a little time off, and I'm waving at the crew inside the crew module, and then enjoying the absolutely fantastic view of the Andes Mountains.
Soy un telescopio anticuado, puedo ver a lo lejos y sé si un bote va por la curva o no. Sí.
Right. Sorry about that.
Shut it, guys! Let me try talk over your size. I'm Bill Nye, highly qualified science guy. Get hypnotized by my bow tie.
Knock knock. Hello kids, Science here. I'm your friend. If a buddy questions me and you wanna win, just call out my name. It's all you gotta do. Bloody Mary requires 3 times, but mine is less than 2. Science. 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 There you go, you just won a debate. Don't you feel empowered and pretty great? Remember kids, you know the globe is real, cause it looks so fake.
Brian Cox, you rookie. I can demonstrate the universe using Star Wars cookies. Their cause is hurting, yet Blacktards are taking action and talking, but more like a fad that's passive.
Yeah, right. There's no curfew, thought you knew what I'm the brochure. I specialize in hand-to-hand. Paper cuts deep, I'm in demand. Cartoon Earth is not valid, I ask a question in my reflection. You choose search, all controlled by the power structure that we all know. Can't stop this 5-10 paper from spreading the truth. Don't believe the hype and the global lies they're pushing at you. Read up, get a flat taste. I'm invading your space. Switch the panorama, just not flashback like crush your face.
Charles Darwin at your service. You know from the past, my theories were iconoclast, then made an icon at last. My concepts changed the world, you see. I'm ahead of my class. I'm the origin of the species. How dare you step in my path? Secondary title didn't go over. Oh well, things digress. Don't forget the things I said. I'm dead, but now I'm stressed. That was the point of me picking the fittest, and now I hope you go next. Wash my endless lies. I'll haunt you till the end of time. You came from a monkey.
There is no escape. Don't make me troll you. Join us, and I will complete your training.
I'll never join you!
If you only knew the power of the globe. You were never told what happened to your father.
You killed him!
No, I am your father. Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
The flat world, surrounded by ice. Half a meal for the truth, brother. This is the life. Did my own research. What do you have? Flat Earth been legit. What you don't understand?
Eat, sleep, debunk the globe, repeat. Eat, sleep, debunk and ladies and gentlemen, Amber Plastic.
Eat, sleep, debunk the globe, repeat. Eat, sleep, debunk the globe, repeat.
Once you go flat, you don't go back. Got a bunch of globes back at home up in the trash. I'm not even really tripping. Everybody here is about to get flat smacked.
So let me explain. You live on a plane. Go ahead, observe. You won't find a rising curve.
Lean flat, lean flat. I said my brothers don't dance, niggas go on the rants and throw the globe away. Now lean flat, lean flat.
All right, so we're doing a little activism here at the mall by the Embassy Suites. Balloons for the kids. So yeah, just repeating for everybody that's just joined, we've been over here at the mall doing a little activism. Balloons for the kids, handing out flyers. Maybe you've seen these before, but we got asked to leave. So we are taking it outside. Right now it's just kind of a parade. We're not running into too many people. So for those of you that are just joining, we were inside the mall. I don't know, we got about 10-15 minutes to walk through there, and you know, we're able to hand out a lot of balloons, a lot of flyers, a lot of pieces of information, business cards, etc. And but quickly we're approached by a security guard who politely asked us to leave. We had a little bit of a conversation, but decided it was best to maybe go outside. So that's kind of what's going on. Hey, what's the plan here? Are we going somewhere else? Here comes the security. They're coming after us. Damn it. Watch out, security's following us. Here they come.
Why have you got round balloons if you believe in a flat earth? Well, come up with flat ones.
Here, I've got the answer. I'll tell you why we use round balloons. Balloons for the kids. Balloons for the kids. Here, I've got the answer. I'll tell you why we use round balloons. It's because it's showing that air pressure has to be in a container. Okay?
And with the activism, guys, real quick, I think we spend too much time trying to convince friends and family when we should move on to someone else, someone who wants to hear the information. One of the things I say is, go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. And so people tell me all the time, Nate, my Uncle Bob, I'm trying to convince him it's flat for 6 months, but he thinks hurricanes prove Coriolis. And I say, go talk to somebody else besides your Uncle Bob. And here's what I do. I recruit everyone around Bob to Flat Earth, and then they harass Bob, and I don't have to. So that's what I do. And guys, real quick, you don't have to know that God is real to believe or know the earth is flat.
You know, when I started looking at the issues of flat earth and everything else that goes along with it, my story doesn't really match a lot of the stories that I hear with people on how they started exploring the topic. I actually started exploring it because from a supernatural worldview in Scripture, I realized that we really live in a demonic world.
They're not just hiding God. They're hiding that there is a God coming back for you.
So the elite have a plan against God. That's why when I walked into Flat Earth, I was not like, well, why would they lie to me about the shape of the earth? This is so weird. I know that the people who run the world are evil, right? They're not good people. 9/11, vaccines, GMO, you know? This is all stuff I knew prior to Flat Earth. Secret societies and occultism and all that stuff, you know? It's not easy sometimes.
We're threatened by terrorism. We're threatened by biological warfare, environmental catastrophe, acid rain, water shortages, nuclear attack, aliens from outer space, fake aliens from outer space, genetically altered foods.
It always ties back to the same elite cocksuckers, you know? I mean, it's the same freaking people doing this stuff over like the decades. And you see, they all tie back, you know, the Royals, Tavistock, the Rockefellers, like these names that you know that get bantied around in conspiracy, but it is these people, or at least an extension of them, because they don't get their hands dirty. They have money literally to burn because they just make it up, and they can just do whatever they want. So they nudge society where they want it to go, and then you have more like public figures like H.G. Wells, for instance, putting stuff out there. And I absolutely believe that's going on today, because let's take an example. Star Wars. Star Wars today under Disney sucks.
You'd be amazed in history what happens when revival sweeps through. When you have a genuine work of the Holy Spirit, the high places come down. And it's not because of a strategic work of men that say, well, today I'll go to war with Satanism by my own power. Good luck with that. See where you end up. See how well that works. There's no way I'd go into a fist fight with the devil. But I tell you what, if I'm in the middle of a situation that is largely demonic as a Christian with the Holy Spirit, I fear nothing.
Don't allow these practices into your homes. Don't stream it into your house by you watching pornography and ruining your mind so that you no longer have sex with your wife, so that you no longer look at women with true identity that they have. You're corrupting yourselves. You're allowing the enemy to steal from you the hope that you have and the confidence of seeing yourself. You can't even look people in the eye because you're so overcome with shame. That's strategic. That's intentional. That's why porn is accessible to a 2-year-old.
And I think if we as truthers adopt that as our philosophy, like whatever your friends say, you're not going to get irritated. Whatever your friends say, you're not going to keep records of. And we don't demand our own way. We don't demand Uncle Bob gets it right now. So I think that would just move our activism and move the movement forward so much if we stop getting irritated, stop trying to convince people, and just plant seeds. I used to be in sales. Professionals sort and amateurs convince. So take the flat smacking, the time we share, I spend about 30 seconds to 2 minutes sharing flat earth and answering their questions, and then I move on. So you can lead a globe earther to flat water, but you can't make them think critically about the shape of the earth. Yeah, guys, and I'm gonna cut it a little short here because, dude, we got a busy day, but store treasure in heaven, right? So let your left hand not know what your right hand's doing. Try and do so much good, guys, that people would get lost for weeks on YouTube trying to see what you guys are up to and what you're doing. And that's my prayer, is that we would all take this and run with it. Honestly, I've heard this a million times from people. They said, Nathan, if everyone did what you did, this would be over. And I believe that, you know? If all of us went and shared with 10,000 people that the earth is flat over the next couple years, imagine the change we would see. People would start eating differently. Vaccine companies would go out of business. Yeah, all these major movie companies that are putting out violence and sin and death and gore, they should all go out of business too.
I've never been invited to a church to speak. But they'll go let their children watch a Disney movie where the priest is marrying a hybrid mermaid who just pledged her soul to a witch under the water, and he has an erection as he's marrying them, this Catholic priest. That's your Little Mermaid. Okay, that's being exposed to sexual acts. They put a giant phallus on the front of the cover just so you could see it a little more clearly.
So how long have you been a flat earther?
Since like June 2016.
Okay, June 2016.
Yeah.
So did you consider coming to a conference before and didn't go because you were nervous about it? Or?
No, I had no money.
Okay.
I've been sitting without work for 2 years.
Gotcha.
All the savings I got.
Congratulations, man.
I took out all these credit card debts and stuff. $100,000. I spent it all to back up YouTube videos.
Gotcha. So I'm not mocking you at all. I applaud you on 2 years of freedom, man, because even though it's a struggle,
it is freedom.
It is freedom because, you know, if I didn't have a wife and children and, you know, I would be jobless because it feels like a prison. And, you know, this truth right here, I think that if we all just if everybody just stopped doing the system would crash and we'd have to start over. Right. Everybody would be building off their own land and growing food and learning what real food is again.
Yes, we have moon rocks, we have Martian rocks, we have the last iron meteorite to fall to Earth. We have part of the South Bend meteorite. We have one of the largest meteorite collections in the Midwest on display, and we believe in hands-on, as you had held a piece of meteorite.
I held the moon in my hand.
I almost showed one, but I didn't want to touch it. I was scared.
Is that George? I'm confronting him right now. I'm confronting him right now.
No.
Yeah, I will be easy. I will be easy. I'm just going to ask him about Brian Mullen and see if he called.
Are you live streaming?
Yes, I am.
All right. Hey, everybody.
Woohoo! George, I'm Nathan. Nice to meet you. I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you call the Board of Civil Engineering to get Brian Mullen in trouble?
No. You know, Nathan, the thing I wish would happen, I think Brian Mullen owes it to the flat earthers to tell them what really happened. Okay?
Yeah, and I agree. He should say his side of the story.
So, this is my girlfriend, Victoria. All right. Who you gonna call?
George, who's your friend who assaulted me? I need to know for the police. What's that guy's name?
I really don't know his
You
name.
don't?
All I
You're
know
lying.
is his screen name.
You know what's his screen name?
Stone, M. Stone.
M. Stone. That's who that was?
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't know his name?
No, I don't.
At all?
I just... 15 minutes ago is the first time I've met him in my life.
Really?
I've just talked to him on Discord.
Excellent.
I know. Just like you. Talk to you on Discord. Talk to other people on Discord. I don't personally know any of these people.
What are you doing here?
I come to observe and see. What?
You guys have an altercation here? Yeah, one of his buddies walked up while I was eating my food in the cafeteria and knocked my hat off my head. I have no idea who he was, and then he asked me to step outside. So I'm here, and he's nowhere to be found. I don't know, his buddy M. Stone. But he invited him here. He's already been kicked out of the conference. It's just a problem, dude. He's just here to cause problems.
Okay, well, calm down.
Yeah.
I don't need to cause any more scenes here. So, do you need me to call Frisco PD on
Police?
this?
Apparently, the suspect left, and he doesn't know his name. So I don't want police to.
So I wouldn't badger him. Was he with the?
Yeah, he's the reason that the guy showed up. He invited him. So
we were having a personal conversation. Then all of a sudden, something happened between him and this other guy.
No, the other guy got up
idea.
out of nowhere. I don't know who he is. He approached me and assaulted me because he's George's friend, and he's here to cause problems.
Right. Well, he did not do that to you. So if you want me to call the police, I can.
Yes. No. He says he doesn't know who he is. Hey, so this is the globe troll that smacked my hat off my head earlier in the cafeteria. What's your name?
Mark.
Mark?
Yes, sir.
What's your name on YouTube?
Mark.
Look at this coward, dude. He won't even admit to slapping my head off.
Man, why don't you get a burger or something? You've got to fall out of the thing.
You're joking, right? You're joking, right? Yeah, look at this meatball, dude. Yeah, cool. Cool. You gonna touch me? I dare you. Okay? You guys flat earthers? Yeah. Could you do me a favor, hold my dog? Okay, this guy smacked my head off my head earlier, and now he's saying he didn't do it. Remember you were blowing kisses at me earlier? Yeah, see? See, look at this globe troll. He's not staying here. He doesn't have a room.
Come on, guys.
I have a room here. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna record how goofy you are, and then I'm gonna post it on the internet. What's your name? What's your name?
How many times are you gonna ask me that? Stop. How many times are you gonna
What's your
ask
name?
me that? Come on, guys.
No, it's
How
okay.
many times are you gonna ask me that?
What are you doing here? You don't have a room here,
How
right?
many times are you gonna ask me that?
What's your full name?
How many times are you gonna ask me
You just
that?
gonna be a coward, not gonna say your name?
Mark Stone.
Mark Stone?
Yes.
What are you doing here?
I have a friend here.
Oh, you have a friend?
Yes.
The guy who was kicked out of the conference?
Who was kicked out of the conference?
Your friend George? Who was kicked out of the conference. Are you staying here?
Okay,
Or not?
I'm gonna need you guys to separate. I'm gonna call PD if you guys don't separate. So
Yeah,
I know
no.
what you said.
Are you staying here?
His breath. He's obviously
I need you
intoxicated.
guys to separate.
Yeah, you're trolling a flat earth convention. So I'm gonna troll you during your meal, George, you nutsack.